So we're just going to start with talking about eccentric load and tendon load, and I can tell you confidently that when we load eccentrically, we do these lowering motions, these shock absorbing motions, our tendons absorb the blunt force of that, and it's just common knowledge that eccentrics load the tendon more. So the front half of our gait cycle, when we have our left foot hit the ground and we load through mid stance, which is our foot when it's right underneath us, that's a whole loading phase. We just watch her head. If we just draw a line across, and you can look at that for reference, she's going to load downwards, and that's all eccentric motion. The eccentric motion is occurring in and around the hip, the knee, the foot and ankle. Everything is loading down and inwards. When we don't control this, really what happens is we overload, we place too much tensile stress on tendons. So when we look at a tendon injury, it doesn't matter if it's the Achilles, if it's the knee, the patellar tendon, it doesn't matter if it's the high hamstrings up top. It's all due to this front half of the gait cycle. We're not controlling on the front half because we know the loading phase loads the tendon. So something is happening in the front half of that cycle. So as she comes down, she doesn't get good control, and we're going to actually just look at the other side, but we know if we don't get good control here, we're going to beat up the tendons. Watch her on the other side. She's going to hit the ground, and there's going to be very little strength. There's going to be, we call these Bambi runners, like Bambi walking for the first time. Not a lot of strength, and their body just flies wherever it wants. So as she hits, and that ground comes up and pushes upwards, she needs her glute on this side, she needs her QL muscle on this side, and her quad muscle and the inner portion of her foot and ankle to contract to control that motion. When those muscles are absent, when they're not happening, including the abdominals up top, she's going to just completely get crushed by the ground and go down and in. Look at the angle at her knee here and how much down and in force is happening. This is literally just wringing tendons. It's like taking a washcloth and wringing the washcloth out. That all of this torsional force, this spinning force just winds the tendon and lengthens it at the same time, and it just starts ripping at it and pulling at it. So when we don't control that stuff, this is where the injuries occur. All tendon injuries are at the root of it loading issues and not controlling that load. So we can even lump an IT band and thing into this. But again, as she comes through, loading too much here, you can have too much load at the glute or the knee on the front, the hamstring tendons, same thing. This is all a loading issue, and we need to control that. So working, we always say go up top, work the core strength, work everything inside this box. We need to be able to stabilize at the pelvis, proximal stability for distal mobility. If you're not having the strength up top, everything down here suffers. We saw research that proved this. When someone couldn't stabilize at the pelvis, injury rates skyrocketed. 65% of injury rates were here, another 20-something% were up here, and then finally 10 to 12% were up top. So the further away we get away from that weakness, the more injury rates we have because it's kind of left out to dry. So remember, keep on working the core strength, work the hip strength to prevent or even heal tendon issues. Are you looking to become a stronger, faster, and more well-rounded runner? Then jump on over to RunSmartOnline.com and take our 10-day free challenge. Try our run-specific, time-saving, and easy-access videos that let you get stronger from anywhere, whether it be at work, home, or on the road.